Welcome to episode 2 of my explanation about portraits. This time we will be doing the first skin layer. As you can see, I've did some work already and it looks different from what I did last time. So, to be honest, I did finish up the background layer and the clothes, and I put another dark layer of darkness on top of the hair and even did some more uh, layer on the face, but more or less for the explanation it doesn't matter, because as you can see things are quite the same. I just did move the eyes down a bit because I think that I just moved her forehead down altogether. So otherwise it's more or less as we started. It still doesn't look like her at all, but you know, the outlines are in it and there is a layer of color on it, so things will get easier for now. So now I'm trying to mix a warm color for the brighter skin tones, which I do with transparent oxide red and white. And transparent oxide red is the warmer of the two when you compare it with burnt sienna. It's also a color that you can use for glazing to give a painting more warmth. You can see it's very drastic when I put this on. You know, the difference is quite huge. It looks like some kind of face mask, but we need it for the difference in light and dark. So I just firstly put it on the brightest spots altogether, and it's quite interesting to just watch how much different this makes in appearance, you know. Still, it will take a while before there is any resemblance. So the forehead also needs this brighter color, although it's somewhat less bright than when you look at the left cheek, because there is some hair falling over it, which is resulting in some kind of cast shadow with very warm shades for some reason. So then there is this, under her eye there is this shadow. It depends on the lighting situation. Sometimes when you have light coming from high above, you have this cast shadow as well. But in this case, it's not. It's partly cast shadow and partly just shadow from the own face, because the light is also coming from the sharp left. So it's striking a bit. You won't see much light hitting the right side of the face. That's one of the spots where it's still there. It's just a tiny spot, and there is some at her eye, the left side of her eye. So now I've mixed a warmer color with some yellow ochre, and of course transparent oxide red and white, but less white. And now I can just easily mix them both together and see what happens, to make some gradients. What I try to figure out at this stage is the basic shape of the face. You can tell that there is the forehead is, in her case, is quite rounded. It's not there is not really any clear sight of bone structure in it. And but still, you have to make sure that, especially when it comes to the eyebrows, they stand out a bit more, because there are some kind of cushion on which they lie, and then there is this bone structure of the where the eyes are, around the eyes, so to say. Here you can see that I use more yellow ochre. The main reason for that is that down here it seems to be that there is more yellow shade in her face, so down at her chin. So if you are wondering, I'm not chewing any gum or anything, but after this video and some others, I was thinking a voiceover would be better, because when I'm painting, I'm not really focusing on what I'm saying, so sometimes there will be very long pauses in between things I need to say, and maybe it's better to do a voiceover. So in the next video series, you won't see me chewing at all. I will just move straight on to voiceover. So it's not chewing, if you're wondering. So if you see the upper lip, there is this philtrum, it's called. This shaped, it's kind of like a sewage for the nose, but I put it in already. So it has a clear philtrum, and that's one of the main shapes are already put in, because it's very distinguishing. There's already some depth in the face when I look at it now. So I'm still trying to figure out the shape of the mouth, and of course she looks quite gothic now with all the darkness on her lips and around the eyes, but I will get to that gradually. I'm decided to just give a separate explanation about the eyes and the nose and the mouth, so they will all have their own separate video episode of this series. So now I'm putting on some extra highlight. I will do that more often, and then just blend it in. That's somehow how I work, you know. So right now I'm putting it on her chin, on her the left part of her chin. And this is partially already the color for the cast shadow of her hair that's standing out a bit. I'm not sure if it's purely cast shadow, because sometimes when this light is coming in like from this angle, it's difficult to actually see what's shadow or not, you know. Sometimes it's also an area where the most saturated colors are just at the edge of where light and shadow meet. Now I'm doing something with almost pure sienna to mix it in on this side of the face, and it's a very warm spot over there. So partially the shadow is cooler when you look at the right side of her face, but it's also very warm at many areas. It's like what I told you just a minute ago. Maybe it's this spot where light meets dark, but it seems also like there is some kind of warm reflection coming in and hitting her face on this spot. As you see, I just outlined the highlight of the nose like it's some kind of brush stroke. That's basically how I start out in this case. But don't worry, we will get to that. As you can see, I'm already using a smaller brush at this time. It's like a size 4 or something. And this is somewhat stiffer synthetic hair. So sometimes I have it when I paint with synthetic hair that they give in too much. It's like painting with like a feather or something, you know. So I need more resistance at times, and this brush works out fine for me. Although some people like Hawk or something, I find that a bit too stiff. Although for when you work on a canvas, then it's a different story. But this is a panel. So now I'm trying to figure out the mouth, and you can see that the corner of her mouth is quite deep into the face. Yes, this typical corner that's standing deeper into her face. Mostly the mouth has a round shape and is when you look from above, and it stands out more in the middle. I'm trying to figure out the nostrils. Nostrils are always something special, but since we're looking down at her a bit, you won't see the holes that much. They're just some small stripy bits blending in at the. Yeah, that's how I work, you know. When I have the right color of paint, and I move there, and then I move there. Right now, I'm trying to figure out because you have the area of the nose where it meets the cheek, and it's thicker, you know. Down at the nostril, you can see that the nose the skin of the nose is thinner, whilst the bright line that moves up towards the nose bridge is somewhat thicker. It's on top of the bone, the bony area of the nose. Yeah, although I put some paint on top of the mouth, it's still quite a scary one. So I'm working a lot with sienna now, and I'm maybe a bit of blue in this case to make it a bit cooler at some spots. Now I'm moving to paint a bit more darkness. This is the darkest spot at the right of the nose bridge, so to say, and where it meets the right eye. I don't want to work into detail that much at this stage still, and the main reason for that is that I think that I need to correct some minor flaws, like when it comes to the eyes or the nose or the mouth, that they move like a bit to the left or downward or something like that. So for that reason, I just make sure that I don't work too much on it at this stage. But I do put in some dark areas now. Down here, beneath the lower lip, there is this area where you, between the lip and the chin, where the skin is quite, it's closer to the face, because it's like there's some thicker part on the chin, and the lips are also thicker. Sometimes it's good to just take a dry brush and blend things, make things a bit softer, as I did over here. Although it's a bit unnecessary at this moment, because I still need to correct a lot about the shape of the face. Putting in some darkness over here. And you already get a lot more depth into the face. It's getting this 3D feeling a bit, although not correct, but that's okay. Down here at the neck there is a bit of a light area. It's very small. There's not much light hitting the neck, but still this part I wanted to paint. There are some more areas that need to be a bit lighter still, and I take white and transparent oxide red for this. And it's also important to paint it for the shape of the head, that you can see that it's not like just levitating in space. So yeah, this might be a good first layer as such. Yeah. So here I am talking, and I'm not knowing what I'm saying, because that's not my business. But the next episode we will take on the hair. So let's do that.